Yeah, hello. It's really nice to be here, and it's really nice to talk about befriending judgment, which is something very dear to me. This topic came up from, I was in Argentina last winter, and I went to hear a neurologist talk about how the brain functions, and how we take in all the information that makes our life, and essentially put it in memory. And whoa, that's interesting. So, the point that he made was that we live in the past, that we don't live now. Most of the time, the information that we use to make our decisions daily is something that happened before. We went to school, we went to film school, you know, all these things. They're in the past. They're not now. And the relationship between us and our knowings got me thinking, judgments are also in the past. They're a form of knowing, of learning that we take on, and it doesn't live with us right here. You know? And I thought, well, I'd like to see myself bringing all these memories up and looking at them. It doesn't happen very often. You know? Very often do I go back and go, well, I believe this, but now it's been 10 years or 5 years or whatever, it's no longer valid. I go, whoa. So this idea of befriending judgment was to, in a way, invite my relationship with judgment to be more present and to be more aware of how this thing that we do all the time, this judging, how it works, you know, and how it works in me. One of the things that I started to look at was all the great religions and all the societies throughout history all commented on judgment. You know, you can really pick out all kinds of examples. And this idea that I got from looking at all these judgments in terms of history was that there was a common thread, and most of them was, the comment was all the same: don't judge. You know, judge not. Don't judge. And in a funny way, it was important in all these comments that we be with rather than be in judgment. So how we are with somebody and how we listen to them and how we are as mediators in your integrity. Funny, all the topics so far have related in a very beautiful way, no? To create an image of being in service to people. You're not judging. You're not even judging yourself. You're not even judging what you have to say. You're quite simply judging your service. And so it comes up, what is it that we do? And I think that we do service. And if it works, we bring peace to a situation. If it works, it's peace. And like you said, double check, triple check. Am I coherent? Like what you said too. Like what CD said. Let's warm up to do this. You know, it's beautiful how it all works together. Anyway, at the end of all of this, I think that is the key to it. Is it to focus on living in the now to as much as we can, not bring preconceptions to the situation, not bring our prejudices to the situation. That's a great word, prejudice. So, if you're with somebody and you're listening without filter, it's much likely to be all that's ever needed. Somebody really needs to hear, like what you said, no? And to be aware of the cycle of things. Anyway, I'd like to finish up with two little things.
Okay. 30 seconds.
One is, when I was thinking about all this, I thought, well, if I was to write a story, and judgment was the main character, so that's a little job for you if you wanted. You can write a little story or a little page or two about your character judgment. And the other one is a poem from Rumi. Jalaluddin Rumi was born in Afghanistan 1207. Then he went to Persia, and he said, the other side of right doing and the other side of wrong doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there.
And I will just encourage people, if I'm giving you that side, you can always tell somebody that they could ask that question. You got the 3 more minutes.
Oh, okay.
Just strategically, people.
But it wasn't.
They would like to ask me the question, but if anybody has questions for Jim, you've got 3 minutes now for questions.
I kind of have a question, maybe a statement, because I like statements. But I found that really interesting in this concept too, that in our friends we accept flaws. And so in that space where if you're judging, you're befriending your judgments, are you willing to accept that they're flawed and imperfect? In that kind of space as you reflect with them.
You're talking about the judgments.
Yeah.
So the question is, in relationship to judgments, making friends out of them, are we willing to accept flaws in our friends? And I would say that I go back to always to what the purpose of all this is, and to be in service. And if by being in service is to support something's growth rather than to be critical of. Criticism is great, but it doesn't work, very often. Yeah. Yes?
Can you talk about the relationship of discernment to judgment?
Very good.
To me, they're similar, but importantly different.
The question is the relationship between discernment and judgment. To me, judgment is somehow fixed. I've made a decision about something and it's fixed. Discernment is the quality of being with something, witnessing rather than So I am with this idea, but it's flowing. It has a quality to it. So in terms of mediation, in terms of other things, discernment might be, that's a poisonous snake, and I'm not going to step over there, right? It's not necessarily a judgment, maybe it is a judgment, but discernment is closer to the role of the mediator than to be judging. It's like you're gathering information and you're making decisions based on it, but you're not making it hard and fast. You're bad, you're good.
Well, thank you, Jim, very
Great.
much.